Okay, so we can get started. So my name is Kim, for those who don't know me. I run this page and I am a yoga teacher. And my focus is on meditation, mindset, yoga, and self-love, self-care, all of that good stuff. So today's live, I wanted to talk about starting a meditation practice. So this is a question that I get from coworkers from my day job. Hi Kat. This is questions that I get from students in my class wanting to know how to start their meditation practice. So we'll start first with the purpose of starting a meditation practice. So this is just to help us wake up from our day-to-day life activities. And, we're busy every single day. I know I can personally relate with that, being busy, working constantly, and not taking that time for myself at the end of the day or the beginning of the day. And it helps us become more aware to make intentional and mindful decisions. So I noticed that once I started practicing meditation more on a daily basis, that I was starting to not react out of emotions. I was acting out of decisions that were intentional. And so I want to help everybody else do the same. So it helps us break the constant need of being busy all the time. It helps you allow to live a more fulfilled life. And you'll start to notice that when you are meditating more, that because you are more aware of everything going on in your life, you're a little bit more patient and not as reactive with your decisions. So another reason to start meditating is to help slow down. So this is to help slow down your thoughts and just be more intentional, like I said, with your thoughts and the awareness going on around you. So what meditation is not, and that is just sitting down and just doing nothing. So a lot of people think they come to the meditation practice and you just sit there and you just don't do anything. And then you have this huge event coming into your life, this huge experience. And that's not always the case. And I know when I first started practicing, I thought the same exact thing. I thought that I would sit down, my first meditation practice. I remember actually my first meditation practice was in my yoga training. And I was so intimidated and I was like, all right, I'm going to have this huge experience right now with everybody else in this room. I can do this. So we meditated, I think, for about maybe 3 minutes. It was a really short one the first day that we meditated. And the entire time I was just thinking. And I was so frustrated when the timer went off and she's like, all right, that's it. And I was like, I didn't even get to meditate. I don't even know what I just did. I just thought like I normally do. So as the training went on, we would meditate every single day of our training. So it probably wasn't until like about 5 months into the 8-month training that I felt like I was finally getting a hand of it. I was meditating at home as well. I was using apps and also just meditating on my own and still getting frustrated that the thoughts were coming up. But it wasn't until, like I said, about 5 months into practicing at my training that it just started to sink in more. I could see it not just in the practice itself, but outside of the practice. I could see it in my emotions of how I was reacting with people, how I was making my decisions, and living more intentionally. So I started to make this practice more consistent. I started doing it weekly and then 3 times a week. And then I stopped for a little while. And I started noticing myself getting really irrational quickly and making such irrational decisions and reacting off my emotions. But once I started to make this a daily practice, I usually do it about 4 times a week. Usually the days that I'm working, because that's the days that I'm most like triggered to go off the handle. So those are the days that I meditate in the morning before I go into work, and I notice a huge difference in my attitude of the day. I slow down a little bit more of my work. I notice I'm way more productive. And that's something that you'll see too in your practice, coming from your practice in your work, is that you're more productive. So going back to, it's not just sitting and that's it. So when you're sitting there, yes, thoughts are going to come up, but you don't have to necessarily push them aside. They can just linger, you acknowledge them, and then just let them go. And that was something that took so long for me to understand. And still to this day, I get frustrated when I have a ton of thoughts, but I'll end the practice and the practice will be over and I'll just be like, all right, that was today's practice. Just a lot of thoughts. tomorrow might not be the same. So that's just something that you have to accept in your practice, that just might not, it's not going to be perfect every single day. And nor is any other practice that you do. And now your workouts aren't the same every single day. Your yoga, your work isn't even the same every day. So just keep that in mind when you're practicing. Try not to get so frustrated, and don't come in with the expectation that your life is just going to change. That one time you meditate, everything will be solved. And that's not the case. It's taken me about 4 years to get to the point where now I feel like meditation is becoming a thing that I can turn to make more intentional decisions and be more relaxed. So that is just one thing I like to get across the point, is just to go in with no judgments, no expectations, and just let what you are experiencing, let that be. And also you can journal too. Another good thing is to journal and to document those thoughts, document the frustrations that come up. And then you can go back over the next week, over the next few months, years, and see how different your practice is or how consistent it is. And notice what you did that day. Maybe you were super stressed at work, so that day you're going to have a lot of thoughts in your practice. And then other days when, you know, you're not having such a stress day at work, maybe your practice will be a little bit easier. But that's why it's called a practice, so that you can continue to do the same thing over and over and just get better at it. So a lot of people ask, am I doing it wrong? And that's not true. There's no right or wrong way of how to meditate. Everybody experiences it differently. And like I said, every experience, every meditation will be different. And then letting go of having to be somewhere in that meditation, trying to get somewhere in that meditation, it will be different every single time. So if you have any questions, just drop them below of your meditation practice and I will answer them. Another thing I wanted to go over was how to start to meditate every single day or weekly, whichever fits into your schedule the best. And starting off even just 2 times a week is really good, once a week, until you feel like you're comfortable enough to sit with yourself. You can start by doing this in your workday when you're feeling stressed. If you work at a day job where you are at your desk all day, just take a moment, set a timer for a minute, close your eyes, and just concentrate on your breath. Try not to let anything going on around you to get to you. Just concentrate on that breath. And then another way you can start is every morning or night or evening after work, you can come home, set up your mat. You can sit on a bolster, blanket, pillow, and then you can set a timer for 5 minutes and sitting there with the thoughts for those 5 minutes. Let what comes up, just let that happen, just acknowledge it, and then just let it go. So this is kind of like your centering in the beginning of a yoga practice. You sit there and you're trying to center yourself, trying to be present in the moment. So allowing yourself to become present on your mat, on your bolster, and just letting every single thing go. And again, if the thoughts pop up, just let that be enough. Maybe one day, a couple weeks later, you won't have as many thoughts, and that's perfectly fine. So every day is going to be different, and just expecting that will help a lot with your meditation practice, and it won't be as frustrating to meditate if nothing happens every single time. Another thing you can do is guided meditations. That's how I started with my meditation practice. That's what helps me focus. Because somebody else is talking, I can just focus on that specifically and not on my thoughts. And then they also remind you to breathe. They remind you to let go of those thoughts. So it's always good to have that little reminder if you're not comfortable just sitting with yourself for those 5 minutes. There are apps out there. There are YouTube videos. I have a YouTube video already up for a meditation practice, and I will be posting more over the next few weeks. I just found a spot near my house that has a little ocean, and it's really relaxing, so I'm going to go there and record some of those for you. And if you have any questions, drop them below. Hello. We're talking about setting up a meditation practice and not having expectations for that meditation practice. Just gonna give it about a minute for any questions that you have. Hi. And comment below if you're thinking of starting a practice but you don't know where, or if you already have a practice. Go ahead and comment below telling me about that practice. All right, so I'm gonna log off. I will post this to my IGTV story. I will be coming on every single Wednesday at 1 o'clock to talk about different topics, and I'll announce that week what exactly the topic is about. But if you have any questions and you're watching this on the IGTV, leave them below and I will comment back to you. So enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys. Oh, what's your favorite mudra? So I personally I haven't experimented much with the mudras yet. That is something I want to experiment a little bit more with. And I love sitting in a cross-legged position. Sometimes I will do a hero's pose, which is the block between the legs and the knees kind of coming towards each other, and the legs by the sides. That's really comfortable sometimes. Sometimes I like to lie on my back if I'm really tired that day. That will feel perfect for me. So those are my three favorite positions for meditation. But the mudras, I definitely am researching a lot about recently to start incorporating that and seeing what a difference that will make in my practice. If anybody else uses them, feel free to comment below to explain how they help you in your practice. All right, so I'm going to log off. Again, you can comment below after I post this and I will comment back. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day. Bye, guys.